my elementary school was on 93rd. So that's 93rd Boss Pimp. So that's GD.
Okay.
However, right down the street, starting at 89th Street, was the Vice Lord, right? Just to the east of us were the Latin Kings up on Commercial, and we had the Blackstone Rangers just to the west of us down on. So we were boxed in.
What part of Chicago were you born and raised?
So I'm from the South Side.
South Side.
I lived all over the South Side.
Okay.
You know, my formative years, I was on 91st and Merrill, Southeast. But I've lived in the Wild Hundreds. I've lived in Terrortown. I lived in Murdertown. I lived in Hyde Park. No, so K-Town's on the west side.
Okay.
Shout out to the Tate brothers.
Yeah.
You know, because we have a friendly rivalry,
Okay.
South Side versus West Side.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I went to high school on the West Side, so that's why I got people over there. I got people where I'm from. You know what I mean? So I was kind of all around the city.
So where you grew up, was it GD, BD, or VL?
Goodness gracious. So listen, so I grew up right outside Jeffrey Manor. So my elementary school was on 93rd. So that's 93rd Boss Pimp. So that's GD.
Okay.
However, right down the street, starting at 89th Street, was the Vice Lord, right? Just to the east of us were the Latin Kings up on Commercial, and we had the Blackstone Rangers just to the west of us down on. So we were boxed in.
Dang.
So like, this is a true story. So literally, when we were shorties, like we walked everywhere, right? Whether it was baseball practice, going to the park, and because we walked through different neighborhoods, and I'm going back to like. We like 8, 9, 10, right? We would literally practice other people's handshakes
to blend in.
Depending on where you walking through.
Yeah,
you try, listen, you trying to go to White Hen on Stony Island, be like, oh yeah, keep it moving, because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Least resistance gets you home.
Yes.
But like I said, we were like kids,
Yeah.
Then when we got older,
yeah,
and it got more serious.
Yeah.
Then the reindeer games were over at that point.
So let me ask you, I mean, you growing up in this environment, what kept you from getting sucked up with all that and making different choices?
Oh man, you know what? So I was a very popular fat kid, right? So I was the heavy D of my neighborhood. I was big as hell.
Rest in peace to Heavy D. He was dope.
Listen,
he was dope.
Heavy D is in my top 10.
Yeah,
like he don't get the respect he deserves.
Get the respect, bro.
Right? But I was big as hell. But I could dance my ass off. I could sing a little bit. I was a all-star baseball player.
Oh wow!
Right?
Okay.
So I was in the popular crowd, but I also had straight A's my whole life. And so 2 things happened. One, because I had the straight A's, they didn't want to take me on their bogus missions with them, right? And then, and it was more of a protection thing, right?
That's what they did back
you
then.
get in the grades,
That's right.
You don't need to do this, right?
That's right.
The second thing happened though. In 5th grade, my mom became Chicago PD.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
You have a chance.
So they was really like, Brett, take your ass off, right?
Yeah.
So like in Boys in the Hood, when Trey was like, "Doe, let me out the car."
Yeah, let me out the car.
I was Trey.
Yeah. Oh, you was Trey. Okay.
I was Trey. You know what I'm saying?
So what is it like growing up in that environment, but then having a parent that's law enforcement?
Man, so it was an adventure because a lot. Let me be real. 90% of my friends were getting in trouble.
Yes.
So I would literally be with my mom, and this guy, I ain't gonna say names, but this guy and that guy walking down the street, throwing up gang signs to me in the car. I'm with my mom, or she like, yo, I had to go by such and such's house, right? Talking about my friends. Now these are people that would like spend the night at my house,
right?
So when your mom walks in and it's like, hey. And she having conversations with people that's spending the night, but on some law enforcement,
Right.
You like, yo, like what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I feel like I saw the best of both worlds.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But let me tell you how gangster my mom was. So in her police academy, they used to wear these sweatsuits.
Mm.
It was all navy blue with the
Mhm.
badge number in white on your chest and on your leg. I used to wear my mom's like clothes, like the sweats and stuff. Because before I had my growth spurt, we were the same height and stuff.
Mhm.
She would send me to school in them police academy sweats
Wow.
sometimes. Like everybody
So kids didn't
knew.
try to bully you in
No,
behind that?
hell,
No.
Mom's was a G. Did y'all ever see the movie Police Academy?
Yeah. Love
So
it. Yeah.
my mom, no boy, my mom, her nickname was Tackleberry.
Oh wow.
If you remember the
I
movie,
remember Tackleberry because he had the
Tackleberry,
big ass guns.
he was gun happy.
Yeah, he's gun happy. Yeah.
My mother, 5'3",
Yeah.
petite, right? She carried a 38, a 357 Magnum, and a 4-shooter on her
Ooh, that
at all times.
357.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so she was a little different.
That was her first gun.
That
I
was.
gave her
Yeah.
a 357
Yes.
when she got grown and moved out.
Speed loaders and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So your mama had that pistol
Yeah.
walk.
Oh,
She
listen,
was-
her main one, a 357. She called it Boom Boom.
Boom boom.
Yeah.
So let me find
Yeah.
out you was Keenan Ivory Wayans and I'm gonna get you sucker.
Hey.
And that was your mom.
Hey, listen. Hey, moms didn't play. Like, you know what? Like, and here's the thing. With all the guys that were doing wrong, quote unquote, that I was hanging out with, the most gangster shit I ever seen was like my mom doing. Like, I've been with my mom when she had to pull down on people.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I'm a kid.
Yeah.
But she got to do what
She
she
had
got
the
to do,
license
right?
though. She had the right to do that.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you
So-
grow up with your dad?
Yeah, so my mom and dad got married in college. They both went to Southern Illinois University. Got married, had me, and then got a divorce when I was 2. So Pops moved back to Peoria, where he's from.
Richard Pryor, shout out to
Yeah,
Richard Pryor.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor was my granddad's best friend.
Okay.
And then my mom moved back to Chicago. So I would spend my school year and baseball season in Chicago, and then go down to Peoria and spend my summers with my pops. Yeah.
I got a question, random question. I used to go to Chicago. Well, let me not put the 10 on the 2. I've been a few times in the
Okay.
80s as a kid.
Yeah.
It was a place called Markham.
Yeah, Markham skating rink.
Yeah, it was a city.
Oh, the city, yeah, it's
back
a south
then,
suburb.
In the
yeah.
80s, it was like nice. Is it still nice?
Nah, hell no.
Oh, okay.
No, let me tell you something.
All
No, so the south suburbs went crazy.
Okay.
But okay. True story. We had the largest housing projects in the country. You know,
Cabrini
Robert Taylor
Green.
Homes,
Yeah.
Cabrini Green.
Yep.
In the mid-90s, when they decided to tear them down, they literally took all of the residents and shipped them out to the suburbs.
That's right.
So whether it's the south suburbs, the west suburbs, even in some cases the north suburbs, right? So Calumet City, Dalton, Markham, those used to be like considered.
Yeah, nice.
You live out in the suburbs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Nah, that's it goes down.
Man, listen.
It's safer in the city now than some of them places we're talking about. Yeah.
Gentrification. When I was out there, this had to be 84, bro, because I remember Lisa and Cold Jam. I Wonder If I Take You Home.
Yep.
That was the hot that summer.
Yep.
And I had some aunt, but they house was big, like had double door entry, and they had the big screen. Remember the big plastic one? You know what I mean, with the wood cabinet.
Yeah.
Like they had some money.
Yeah.
And I just remember being out there. I was like, damn, this is different than when we go back to the city, because back to the city was like some good times type.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So but I figured it was different.
Yeah, man.
But the funny thing about it, my mother used to tell me, right? She used to tell me that black folks move to where white folks are, and white folks move to where the jobs are. You know what I mean? So a lot of time I see that in every city. Like back in the 80s and the 90s, all the black people wanted to get out of the hood and go to these suburbs. But now, fast forward 15, 20 years later, you start seeing happening in places that you never would growing up.
But here's the difference, right? And I don't care if it's, Chicago, Kansas City, LA. The black people are trying to escape the circumstance.
Yes.
we don't want to be afraid to walk to school or to park our car or right. On the flip side, the white people are not afraid of any of that.
No.
So
No.
so during gentrification, so
Mhm.
right here in LA, right?
Yeah.
I used to go to the Cork all the time on Adams, right in between Crenshaw and La Brea. That is quintessential South Central Los Angeles.
Yep.
They don't use that term anymore, but we know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
for
right?
sure.
When it started gentrifying and you started seeing white people walking their dogs
Walking
at
they dogs.
midnight
Yes. Yes.
down Adams,
Yep.
we start asking them, y'all know where y'all at?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So the fear
Yeah.
they don't have because when you grow up, no matter where you live, when you grow up and everything is possible, it's
Yes.
told to you, it's said to you, you believe that. Why would you fear anything?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a different existence.